Are you tired of hearing you need to do the inner work? What is this inner work that you need to do? And nobody tells you how to do this inner work. So, what does it mean to do the inner work? Inner work means doing a lot of outer work. Yes, that is what inner work is. You could always go sit in a cave and meditate for 25 million years and be enlightened. Sure, you could do that. But who's going to cook for you? Who's going to feed you? Where are you going to go party? All these basic rules come up. How are you going to find the clothes? How are you going to stay warm? And when it's too hot, if you're in a desert cave, how are you going to keep cool? All these questions you need to go through. Trust me, these are your outer work that you need to do while doing the inner work. I hear people say all the time, I know this coach told me I need to do my inner work. I need to do my inner work. I need to do this on my own. Just tell me what I need to do and I will do it. No, you can't do it. No one, no one does it on their own. Everybody needs a mentor, a coach, a guru, teachings to follow through and lean on to someone who will hold you accountable, who will support you, who will guide you. And that is how you get to your goal. Nobody does it on your own. So if you are trying to do it on your own, it is a very long, hard journey. So let me tell you a little bit of my story so you understand where I'm coming from. See, in 2001, my youngest baby at that time turned 1 year old. He turned one on a Friday. Friday evening, I receive a call from a friend of mine who was a colleague back in the day. He says, do you know what happened? And I'm like, no, I don't know what happened. He said, you were not here at work today. I said, no, I was not here at work today. I had my weekend off, remember? So I was flying out on Thursday to be here on Friday, and I'll be there on Monday. And he said, no, okay, so come back on Monday and I'll talk to you. You'll find out. And I'm like, what's going on? Why won't you tell me? He said, no, just come back on Monday. Enjoy your vacation. So, of course, I celebrated with my friends my youngest baby's first birthday. And I came back on Monday morning. Guess what? My desk was clean and there was a box with all my stuff in it. And I was asked to leave. I had been laid off. I had been part of a layoff where the entire project got dumped and everyone in that project got laid off. I was middle level management and all my programmers were gone. I was given the pink slip, but they could not give you the pink slip if you're on vacation. You have to come back to work to get the pink slip. That's what it was called in those days. I don't know what they call it these days. You're given a pink slip. And on the Thursday when I left, the day before on Wednesday, there was a celebration. And many people were celebrated, including me, about how great a contributor I was. And I was given an American Express $100 certificate to enjoy, to splurge, because I was so good. I was so freaking awesome to the company. And they already had it planned that they would give me $100 certificate to the entire project. And the next day they were going to like cut it off. That Friday they would lay us all off. And we would have Thursday to celebrate our $100. And on Friday we would be gone. That is how corporations work. That is how this world works. They make you feel good and then you are dropped. You are dropped like a hot piece of coal. So anyway, I came back and what I love to do is I love to work. I love to serve. I love to be rewarded for what I do. I love to see that I am of value in this world, on this planet, while I'm here. And I love to work with groups. I love to work with many, not just my kitchen and my kid and my husband and my home and my farm and my car. No, I believe this entire world is mine. I'm here for a reason. And I have to know who I am and why I'm here. And I'm telling you a 25-year-old story. You all know this. So a few months later, September 11th happened, the terrorist attack happened. It was very hard to find a job, but every morning, like now, it's very cold, so I have this jacket on. I woke up and I started looking for jobs. In those days, there was monster.com, Yahoo was the main place, and there was the banner on top. And there was a banner that said, work from home and make $6,000 a month. And I'm like, ooh, goody, I need to apply. I started applying. And then I heard a scuffle behind me. And it was my other child, my 3-year-old, who came and he said, Mom, I'm so happy to see you at home in the morning. And I'm like, who needs a job? I don't need a job. I'm going to be home and I'm going to find out something to do from home so I can be with my child and have my child be so happy every morning to see me at home in the morning because I'm a morning person. I used to wake up and drive to work. So they would not see me. They had the nanny at home. Yeah, I could afford a nanny and a housekeeper. That's how good my life was, money wise. And then I used to come back as early as I could, like by 4 or 5 o'clock, I would be home. And then I would spend some time with my children, put them to bed, and then go to sleep and wake up in the morning and again rush to work, shower and rush to work. That was my life. And I said, I don't need to go anywhere. I have three young kids, 6-year-old, 3-year-old, infant. I'm like, I'm going to be home and I'm going to work from home. And I kept asking myself one question. This is my inner work. I was meditating. I used to practice Kriya, all that good stuff. I was so regular with it. I used to wake up at 4 and sit and meditate and all that good stuff at the inner work, right? So my inner work was why? Why did this happen? Why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? Why is this happening in the country? And what's going on? What's wrong? And I kept on asking these why questions. And of course, I couldn't find any answer except this big spiritual truth. There's a reason for it. It is for the good. Everything happens for the good. God loves you. It is happening for the good. It's the right thing to happen. And I'm like, oh, so many people are in trouble. So many people are losing their jobs. So many people are collecting social, whatever you collect from the government when you get laid off. Okay, so all those things. And I'm like, this is not a happy place. There must be a reason. But I kept on asking this why question and no answer. So I said, okay, the next question came to me, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Because I didn't want to go out and work for someone else. I was still applying, because I had a nice fresh resume, 12 years of work experience, middle level management, six-figure income, software engineer, master's in nuclear physics and computer science, an American citizen. It's not that I was an illegal immigrant. I was asking all these questions. And I used to live in Texas in those days. And people were coming to California. And I'm like, I'm not going to California. I have a husband. I have a house. I have a children. This is my place. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to continue doing this work. And nothing, nothing, nothing. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. Okay. Again, because everything I wanted to do, I wanted to work from home. I wanted to be with my children. And I wanted to make my six-figure income, right? What am I supposed to do? That's what I'm supposed to do. And zip, nada, no response. And I was like, ready to kill myself, but I couldn't kill myself because I have children. And killing yourself is never the answer because you have to repeat it. If you are thinking of killing yourself, please don't, because everything you have done until now that got you here, in the next lifetime, you'll have to repeat it. And you don't even know if you're going to be a human in the next lifetime. And at that time, in Kriya, there was going to be a 90-day brahmachari training, which means you learn how to live. Okay, how to live ethically, how to live spiritually, how to be a yogi. So I said, okay, sign me up. I don't have a job anyway. I'm going for this. But before I go for this, I'm going to travel through the Himalayas. So from Dallas, took my husband, took my kids on this 6-month cruise, and of which 90 days I was going to stay in this ashram with my teacher on the Bay of Bengal. It's literally the ashram is right there on the Bay of Bengal. You could walk there through a cashew grove. Okay, it's a cashew forest, cashew grove, and there are jackals, there are wolves, foxes, all of the creatures live there, and humans. They have always lived there, and they're completely fine living with the wild. That's how it is in the world, where people live with nature. They're comfortable with whoever is in their neighborhood. We live in a human society, and you don't know who your neighbor is and what kind of a person they are, and if they are going to help you or hurt you. We don't know. So let's not blame these wolves and jackals and who live in the wild. So anyway, I was going to go to this ashram and stay there in silence for 90 days, right? So I go to Himalayas with my children, my husband, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law. We all go. And they stay in a place and they are having fun. But then I go through the deep forest to the high mountains, riding a mule, whatever it is, with, of course, with hill man, a mountain man, because I don't know how to ride a mule. And I was meditating. I was meditating in the courtyard of this highest temple dedicated to Shiva. And I cannot explain to you how awesome it is over there, how beautiful it is over there. In fact, just now thinking about it, I have the hair on my skin come up. You can literally hear the silence, and it is pristine. And you look down and you see the clouds. And beneath the clouds is the village from which I came up. Like you are in a place that is higher than heaven, truly mystical, magical, and I'm meditating. And the question comes from within me: what are you good at? So, no more, why did this happen? What's going on? What do you need to do? But the question was, what are you good at? And I said, oh, that's simple. I am great at being happy. I'm great at being healthy. I am great at sharing love, loving, and being loved. And I have no fear. I have courage. So the next thing that came to me is, whatever you are good at, you can help others with that. And I said, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to help people be happy, healthy, feel safe, feel loved. And that's it. How am I going to do it? No clue. And I opened my eyes and I could see these colors that you don't see on the earth plane. And of course, I came back from a deep meditation and the clouds had just parted below and I could see the mountain peaks, and beneath them, I could see those little huts where people live. The village was coming up, and I'm like, deep exhale, I'm going back. And the man with the mule was waiting. He was being respectful in the corner. So I just got up and I started walking. Of course, I never wanted to leave that place, but I came down. I had some water with me and came down, went through my 90 days. Of course, during the 90 days, I wanted to stay with my guru over there, but he says, no, you cannot run away from your responsibilities. You have children, you're an American. And I said, my children will learn in your school here. And he says, no, this is not their journey. They were born in America for a reason, and they chose you for a mother for a reason. You have to go back to America and raise your kids. So I'm telling you the story 25 years later. And what happened was I came back. I didn't know any answers to how I was going to help people. And through a journey of things, and you can read my books and find out about my stories over there, but I will cut it short here. I came to California and I found an ad on the back of LA Yoga Journal. And the book was flipped, the magazine was flipped, reversed in our library. So I picked it up and I said, you can be a hypnotist for free. Right away, I went home. I had my children with me. I went home, took care of them, and I called that number. It was a 1-800 number. And I said, what do you mean hypnotist for free? This is America. Nothing is free. No lunch is free. What do you mean hypnotist for free? And they said, no, we have a 1 year program where you can get accredited as a clinical hypnotherapist. You need to come over for an interview. And I was brand new in Southern California. I didn't know what was where. So I looked up, and in those days, you didn't have maps. You had like MapQuest. I looked up MapQuest and I wrote everything down because when I write, I remember. So I tell all my clients to write everything down. So I wrote down the directions and I drove. And I told my kids, Mommy will be back. Okay, 3 hours. I went, I interviewed, and I said, I'm doing this. I signed up and they said, sure, you're it. I had to give a test, and I gave the test, and I did some personality review and all of that. And I signed up and I became a hypnotherapist, 25-year-old story. And that was my thing, is helping people access their subconscious. Because in your conscious mind, when you go for traditional therapy, traditional life coaching, you're just in the talk, 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 talk mode. You just talk until eternity and nothing changes. Because in your conscious mind, what you have is logic. You can be an arguer, you can argue till eternity. You have decision making abilities. So you can decide this today, you can decide that today. You have rationale. You can always justify everything. Why did I buy this bottle for $20? You have a justification, and that comes from your conscious mind. And you have willpower, which you don't seem to find when you need it the most. But this is only 10% of who you are. This is not you. Who you are. Let me try to turn on some more light because all you are seeing is my back. hmm So hopefully, see how beautiful it is. The sun is coming out from behind the trees. It's beautiful here in Ojai, California. But anyway, that's your conscious mind. Logic, reasoning abilities, decision making faculties, and analytical abilities. You can analyze stuff. You can be a great researcher. You can break things down and go look within, look within, look within. But again, that's work, right? The inner work, you have to look within using your microscope, and willpower, which you don't seem to find when you need it the most. Guess what's running your script? What's running your life? It's your subconscious, where you have memories and you have belief systems, and every memory has some emotion attached to it. So either you like something or you don't like something. So what are you vacillating between? Pleasure and pain. You want more pleasure and you want to avoid pain. All your decisions come from these two things. More pleasure, less pain. More pleasure, less pain. And when you can tolerate your pain, you think like, oh, I don't need to change anything. Oh, I'm good enough. Just take my pain away. And so you go for the shot. You go for that high. You go for that high. That's what happens. You get a legal advisor, you get a financial advisor, you get a doctor who gives you a pill, you get a therapist who you go and talk to and who says, come back again next week, same time. And that's all that's going on. But the inner work isn't happening. All you're trying to do is please people. So if you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're exhausted from pleasing people, you need to turn your focus towards yourself. And if you are ready to do that, I welcome you to a breakthrough session. Go to coachkea.com/clarity or coachkea.com/gift and book your breakthrough session. For the first 15 minutes, you get to share with me. That's your free time. You get to share with me what's going on. And if I feel that I am the one, not that I can help you or not, I know I can help anyone with anything. I know I do. But if I am the one to be helping you in your inward journey to have whatever it is that you want, money, health, relationships, career, peace of mind, I will take you through the process and share with you what is it that you will need to invest in emotionally, time wise, money wise for your inward journey. I'm your coach, Kea. Like and follow for more. Lots of love. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I shared my story. All right, my friend. Hugs, blessings. Bye for now. Namaste. All right.
If I could be anywhere, I'd be here with you. sharing our healing hearts, our hope and our truth. Joy overflows here at the crossroads. Here at the crossroads. Oh, here at the crossroads.